Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is an update for Rune. Just wanted to show you real quick on the my daily count here. We had an impulse as either a wave or a one wave. We then had a complex correction in a WXY down to the 786 retracement of our first wave within the channel and hit right off the bottom at the 786 at around 79 cents. Off the bottom, we've had a 5-wave pattern complete. And now we're working on our wave 2 completion off the bottom. Just to show you how well that nicely fit into our pitchfork. Came and hit the outer boundary line, came back in, ticked off the pitchfork again, came down in 5 waves as an A wave. Currently working on our B wave, looking for our C wave down between the 50 and the 618, between 132 and 117. We'll be able to target that a little better once we get our B wave high in, looking for around the 1-to-1 extension. So zooming in closer here, we'll go down to the hourly. You can see off our high, we had a pretty clean 5-wave move, came to the 1.618 extension for our third, and then came between the 2 and the 2.36 extension. You can see in green for our 5th wave or A wave complete. We were trying to trade this one. It became very complex. Believe we've gotten a grasp on it now. Sorry I missed the long here, guys. I'm moving November 1st, and I haven't had a lot of time to watch the charts. Kind of frustrated myself. I didn't have an alarm set or anything. I've just been really focused on Bitcoin and other short setups like Cardano and XRP. So I kind of left this one for the week, and it turned on us. It's kind of frustrating because I would have gotten this trade around this area. I would have gotten this trade around this area if I were paying attention. But we are where we are now. So we'll get ready for the next trade setup. So we had an ABC, correction to the upside, in a zigzag. And we've completed down here in a WXY. So it looks like we're making a flat correction as an ABC. So looking for 5 waves to complete here if it hasn't completed yet. A little bit about the targeting. I measured this out. We have a double zigzag, an ABC here, and then we had 5 waves here. This is an A, this is a flat wave, B, and a C to the downside. So it was kind of spread out, but we hit the minimum requirement, which is the 0.618 extension for our second ABC here. So off our WXY, we had a pretty impulsive move with pretty shy retracements. As of right now, looking at the RSI, looks like this was our third of our third, and we got our 4th and 5th here. You can see it a little better on the 1 hour. You can see we're getting slight divergence. Let's check even the 5-minute. This looks like it's working on a 15-minute RSI currently on this last wave. So our third of our third was here, and our 5th of our third is here. You can see our divergence here. And it looks like we're working on a flat for our 4th wave. We have 3 waves up so far. Looks like 5 down here, 3, 3, 5. We should get our 5th wave up. Now, one thing about this is we're at the 1.236 extension for our 3rd wave, you can see, just shy of it. Where are we on linear? A little higher, around the 382. So I'd go on linear, and I'd be targeting around the 1.618 extension at this point, just because we didn't hit the 1.618. When we don't hit our target for our 3rd, which was the 1.618, and it really looks like we have 5 in here. I don't see how we don't have 5 for our 3rd. Usually go 1 fib shorter, which is the 1.618, rather than our 200% for our 5th wave. Or we go to our 1-to-1 off the 1st. How does that line up? That lines us up at about the 1.236 extension of our A wave for our sieve at 188. If we got the 1-to-1 of our 1st wave projected off our 1st, let me show you that. just the 1-to-1. Put that in yellow. And we'll get that right on the pivots, so we can get as close as we can for this fifth wave. Our fourth isn't quite done yet, so we can't really exactly do it. We can try off this bottom, but our 1-to-1 looks like around the 188, the 1.236 extension for our C wave, which is this A wave off our B wave for our C waves. Looks like around the 1.236 is the best bet there. Just past the 1.618. Okay, on log scale. Yeah, I'll probably stick with linear. I'm going to be targeting around the 1.888 to consider this wave pretty much complete. So I put on a shift pitchfork. You can see it's respecting the shift pitchfork the most. I tried every pitchfork on this just for the last wave down at the micro. Our original was not impulsive enough. Our modified, same. Looks like it's respecting the shift. Just to see this final wave. I use this as indication when a wave's done. If we drag out to the side of it, most likely this wave is done, and this was just an ABC forming a connecting wave and need higher. But it should respect it at this point. It can come all the way to the outer boundary line, no big deal. If this turns into a flat correction, in most likely a channel for our flat would be something like this. And we'd expect our fourth to hold that boundary line as a flat, even a little shorter, the 0.618 extension if it's a running flat somewhere up here, but it should respect this shift pitchfork. You can throw it on at the 1 and the 2 off the low. If you want to follow along yourself, put it to shift and pay attention to what happens here. I don't see 5 in here, so I'm assuming we're still in a corrective move. So what I'm looking for is this to complete its fifth wave to the upside. Again, I'll be looking for divergence from this third wave high. And I'll give you my trade setup once we get up there. I will for sure be updating this tomorrow. I'll be paying attention to this. But if for whatever reason I'm not here, what I'll be doing is looking for this 5 waves up to complete. Look for the divergence on the RSI on the 15-minute. And the way I'm going to open my short is if we come down impulsively to the downside, which should happen at the completion of our correction, like so. To start, I will have my short trigger me in between the fourth wave of the fifth wave, right underneath it, not at the pivot, but underneath it, and stop will go at the fifth wave high. That way we can get a nice risk reward. That's what I'm doing personally. Now, if you're not chart watching and you're not trading this way down on the micros, your other option here is you can buy short anywhere in this area. If I were to trade this on a larger time frame, and I'm not glued to the charts, I'd short anywhere in this area. I'd already be short at the 382. I'd take a third at the 50 and a third at the 618. And my stop would go at this previous high up here around 227. You'll have to check your own exchange what that high is. But that's how I would take that trade, and targeting my average price is the 50, stop at this high, and I'm targeting the 1-to-1 extension whenever it's done, which would be roughly, I'll just rough it in here, roughly around 114 on this one. So almost a 2-to-1 trade on the longer term time frame, but I can get a much better position size and risk reward playing this down on the micros. So wait for this to complete its fourth, try and get a nice 5-wave move up, and the trigger entry is the 4th wave bottom underneath of the 5th wave. Stop will go at the high. That's what I'll be doing. And one more thing for our timeline is this is the 1-to-1 in time extension of this first wave down, coming up right here at the 1-to-1. So everything's lining up nicely on Rune. Sorry guys, I didn't get that long for you. I did not update in time, unfortunately, just been very busy. So for the next week or two, my updates are going to be sporadic, mostly focused on bigger time frames, but I wanted to give you this since this is the setup I'm taking myself, and that's how I will be trading it. In fact, I'm going to set an alarm up here just so I make sure to get it to my phone at just before the 1.236, and I'll put one below the 4th wave. So I'll be sure to get it. All right, guys, that's it for Rune. Looking for a pivot to the downside, and make sure to check out my other videos. If you want to see my other trade setups, make sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.